All right, springtime's almost here, and boy, we're just anxious to get back out on the runway. I've got a plane here from E-flite, brand new. This is something you guys have requested specifically to review. Been a little while. Let's get into the box, see what it's all about. All right, so here we have it. This is the F-15 Eagle by E-flite. This is a 64mm ducted fan plane. You know, E-flite's been dabbling a little bit in the jets. Been kind of interesting seeing that. Obviously seeing some of the success that Free Wing's been enjoying. Yeah, this is a great looking little plane. Now, interesting thing about this plane specifically is it actually has SAFE. That's their stabilization technology that E-flite uses. So I'm really quite interested in seeing how this flies. Why don't we go ahead and get into the box here? We can kind of talk more about that. You know, it's interesting having a chance to read all the comments from everybody posted on various videos, and not only requests, but even just feedback. And you know, there is a definite interesting truth when it comes to some of the warfighters and the jets. You know, the jets can be hard to handle. They like to land and take off at a very high rate of speed. If you're used to taking and, you know, dropping your flaps and bringing your warfighter in at no speed whatsoever, it's a very different experience. However, when you get into the big warfighters, ooh, this is an E-flite plane that wants to come out of the box. Look at this. Normally this is so tight it won't come out. But yeah, you get the roll off of some of those warfighters and on takeoff, and boy, they can be hard to handle. They land great, they fly great, but boy, getting them off the ground can be tricky. So there's definitely pros and cons with the different planes. Love everyone's feedback on that. Thank you. And wow. We always say, first impressions when you open a box, how well is it packaged? What do you see? That's not bad. This is a light plane. First impression is, now that I've got that layer of cardboard off, it doesn't feel like there's much here. So it's definitely a smaller airframe. So we'll be really measuring this plane and seeing how it stacks up to the F-22 by Free Wing in the 64mm variety. We've had tremendous success with that plane. It really has become a great benchmark for us for quality and value as well as performance. And you know, I hate to say it, that's one of the big things that we measure everything against. Now that being said, that plane when we picked it up was $129, and it currently is listed as that, but it's not on the site right now available. Most likely because they're trying to push their bigger F-22s, and it was eroding some sales. So I expect to see that come back. However, beautiful plane, and you know, something that we can kind of use to gauge how well this plane is. This plane was $179. So we're talking a $50 increase over that plane. However, we also have it coming with its own receiver with that SAFE built on board. So if you're a new pilot looking to get into jets, or an old pilot looking to get into jets, that gives you that margin of kind of experimental safety, which is kind of nice. So I see some value there. All right, we ready to get into the box? Got all this foam set aside. Okay, first things first is taking a look at these wings. So true to E-flite, everything's pre-assembled, servos are installed. Looks like we will have a little bit of a Y harness that we're gonna need to connect here. Maybe there's a sticker to hide that, I don't know. We'll get in there a little bit more. It looks like we've got some fake lighting on the wingtips with a sticker. Carbon fiber rod running through, and looks like a couple big plastic supports. So that's a nice looking wing, pretty rugged, and there's its mate. Next thing we've got, let's go ahead and get the easy things. Looks like we've got some external fuel tanks. There we are. Now those are nice. These actually look like they clip on and off. They have a plastic clip. Sure enough, in the wing, I can see that's where it would socket in and it can be removed. So that's a nice option. I like the fact that they make that removable. All right, next up, let's keep going here. We've got our nose cone held in with a little Scotch tape. Great big neodymium magnet on the front. Now this is a nice feature, nice little addition. The actual tip of the nose cone has, it feels like almost a softer plastic cone on it. Now we've seen 100 times with the various jets when we land them. If you come in wrong, if you get a little too tipsy, whatever, you can take and scuff these noses real easy. Or even if you land hard, it'll pop off just because of the magnet. Seeing that reinsurance or reinforcement there, a little assurance that that's not going to be damaged is kind of nice. All right, next up, these are going to be rudders, elevators. Okay, so we've got a couple elevators here. LiPo hinges. I do not see any reinforcements at all through that. But again, the E-flite foam, boy, tends to be pretty darn durable. Control horns are installed, so that's nice. Let's kind of keep going here. Looks like we've got our carbon fiber rod for our wing. Pull out our neck support. And here comes the fuselage. Oh, big, beautiful plane. Great plane. Now, the F-22 from Free Wing, we ended up finding it ran just beautifully out of the box. It was designed to run on a 3-cell. Take through a 4-cell in and burn the motor out mid-flight. Beautiful landing. Honestly, his best landing he's probably ever made with that plane. Emergency landing. Able to bring it home in one piece. This is actually designed out of the box with a, what is this? A 40 amp ESC and a 64 millimeter 11 blade motor. And it is designed to run on 4 cells. 3s or 4s. So that is a really nice element that we don't have to worry about tinkering with. The other thing I noticed right off the bat is we have fixed landing gears. This can be a pro or a con, depending on kind of your flavor and preference. We definitely kind of look at this plane as an entry-level plane. So having fixed gears there, it's not the end of the world. Tate ended up taking and converting his F-22 over to a belly lander, and my gosh, it worked wonderfully in that case. So who knows, maybe that's where this is destined to go in the future. Beautiful fuselage. Love the paint scheme on this plane too. True to form, we've got our giant, enormous, beautifully illustrated manual. E-flite always has that as a priority. Respect the hell out of that. There's our rudders. Now these are, no, they're not. They have no control surfaces on them whatsoever. So that is very interesting. So fixed rudder. So this thing's gonna fly more like a wing, it looks like. That's all right. Oh, hey, there we go. This is what I was looking for. Looks like we do have some nice stickers to hide our servo leads in our wings, matching colors even. So that's pretty slick. Now there's a odd little bundle of something over here. Let's get into this and see what this is all about. Oh, we got our landing gears. Yes, we do. And a little hardware packet. Nice. Okay, so this is all the stuff we were missing. So nice landing gears, hard rubber tires. They're not going to take much shock out of hard landing, but they'll definitely hold up for a high-speed takeoff and landing. And it looks like we've got, just a little hardware here, a few screws, and our control rods. All right, well, we've got a lot of fun stuff to play with here. Let's jump to the time lapse and we'll get this sucker put together and see where we end up. All right, folks, here we have it, the F-15 Eagle by E-flite. Beautiful plane, went together really, really easily. Really honestly exceeded my expectations in a lot of ways, but is kind of on par for my standards and expectations for E-flite. Gorgeous plane. I love seeing the paint scheme all put together. Why don't we go ahead and let's do our thrust check. Let's see if this thing has any power. I'm running a 2200 Gens Ace 4-cell battery in this, and yeah, we're just gonna let fly. I haven't done this yet, so this is always fun. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna, geez, where am I gonna hold on to this sucker? I think I'm gonna do this. It's always weird on camera when you're back here. So here we go. Oh, throttle cut. Well, we're moving boxes. That's a great sign. We know it's not a Blitz RC Works plane. I actually had quite a bit of power. I'm a little bit surprised. Oh, now I've made a mess of my desk over there. Oh well. Good little bit of power there. I would say it's pretty close to on par with the Raptor, F-22 Raptor with its 4-cell as well. Beautiful plane all the way around. So originally I thought, oh, well, this is going to fly a little more like a wing, and it's not. We've got elevators, we've got ailerons, and with that, we have bank and yank control. So we have our elevators and our ailerons. Good amount of deflection on this. Highs I think are set for 100%, lows on 70. So the control surfaces are not very big on this plane. And you know, there's a decent amount of deflection there, but I can see why it wants to be at 100%. Definitely could benefit from it. My only complaint I've got with this entire look and feel on the plane is the nose cone is obviously a different color. And I mean obviously a different color. It doesn't even remotely match. Honestly, it looks a little bit like it should have come from a different plane. But that minor quibble aside, you know, we see boy, Ninja. I think that's a Ninja for a pilot. Yeah, he's got the little mouth cover there. Pretty certain he's a Ninja. That could have been slightly improved, but the decals and the graphics on the outside are really quite nice. And it comes with a few extra that you can even put on beyond that. I've opted not to. You know, one thing I would have liked to have seen at a $179 price point, especially when we know E-flite's capable of producing some of the other planes like the Timber and the Cirrus, I would have liked to see just a little bit of lighting. Just even if it was just the wing markers. That would have made me a little more happy about what I'm seeing here. Now, again, this is the bind and fly safe version, so it came with a receiver. That receiver is one of their, you know, moderate receivers mounted right about here in the nose. That's an interesting piece because if I go with the plug and play version where I'm adding my own radio, it's only a $20 savings. And unless I'm going with an orange receiver or a lemon, you know, I don't know that I see a reason not to get the actual, you know, legitimate Spektrum receiver here. It just makes sense. I'm running a Spektrum radio. I want the best connectivity I can get. And it kind of just makes sense to me. So spend the extra 20 bucks. You're gonna save it, unless you've got a nice radio laying around collecting dust. I guess that makes sense. I ignored part of the build instructions, and that's because of personal preference. So the tail surfaces were not attached to the plane. And they didn't screw on either. They are 100% dependent on glue joints, and that's okay, other than, you know, it's nice to have things be removable, replaceable. And on all the other E-flite planes, especially the warfighters, when we see the tails have screws so we can take and replace them, repair them, so forth. In this case, we can't do that. These are hard glued in. And with a fair amount of surface area, I dare say. So the trick is, if you do crash, you do come with a hard landing, heck, you're transporting your plane. and you have a mishap, because these are not super sturdy. Okay, well, how do you replace it? Their instructions say CA these suckers on. I opted to use CA to hold them in place while some foam tack cures. Foam tack stays a little bit gummy, a little bit flexible. It's far easier to remove, to carve out of the channels where the components would mate and reconnect. So that was my choice. I'm happy with that choice. I know it's going to last a long time and be very robust. But, you know, CA holds things together. Foam tack makes them strong. You know, other nice details on this plane. So we do have our rudder control connected. Now we don't have a surface, but we do have at least our steering wheel up front. Now that's using one of those odd little sail type servo horns. And all of our cabling is running right through here. Let's get that throttle cut on. There we go. All of our cables are running right through here. I see a lot of chance for binding on this, you know, things moving around as you're in flight. And I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if that becomes a problem or not. Maybe the servo's strong enough that it'll push things out of the way. Let's take a look. It's a A3. Oh, these are those horrible little analogs we haven't had great success with. These tend to die on us. And granted, we're a little hard on planes, but still, they tend to die on us a little more than we like. You know, the other bonus is, you know, these pods with our fuel and our weapons are just gorgeous. And the fact that, you know, if I choose to, I could just pull them forward and remove them. I think that's fantastic. They do provide a lot of drag in flight. And so, you know, honestly, I would recommend first flights with this. Don't fly with these. Let's get it up in the air, see how it flies, get used to the plane, start building that relationship with it, and then we can go that route. Other than that, you know, I don't have anything negative to say. You know, I think it's a beautiful plane. So at $179, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, I do. I think there's some value here. Now, subject to change, we'll take it out, do the maiden flight, see how that goes. But what I'm seeing here looks like a great airframe, good quality. I'm happy with it. So there's our review of the new E-flite F-15 Eagle. And yeah, can't wait to get it in the air. Until then, keep flying. So as you can see, there's a fair degree of commitment that we at Angry Zeppelin have for you, our viewers.
It's so true. All of this comes out of our own pockets, so please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments down below what else you'd like to see here on Angry Zeppelin.
Until next time,
Keep flying!